Okay, well, back in the division, back in Miami. Um, Looking at the Dolphins, this is a lot different team than we saw earlier in the year, 8 weeks ago. They've changed the personnel things, and they've done a really good job of winning close games. Playing good football situationally, and that's why they won a lot of close games. They're obviously very well coached. They have a lot of explosive players on offense, with Stills and, of course, Drake or Parker. Tannehill's back. And then, defensively is a disruptive front. Howard's having a great year. They turn the ball over a lot, one of the best teams in the league on that. And one of those strengths of the team is special teams. They do an outstanding job on the return game, the rush game, coverage. So, good all-around team that's gave us a lot of problems down there last year with their scheme, their players, and the way they played. I'm sure we'll get the same thing this time. Hopefully we'll be able to do a better job with it.
Hey, Bill, I want to ask you about Lawrence Guy, because he's seems like a little bit lighter than some of the guys that play the interior, whether it's Malcolm or Danny Shelton or whatever. But what is it that allows him to have the success that he's seemed to have had over the course of this year playing inside there?
Yeah, I think he's got the size and the power to do that. He's done that in college in Baltimore. Plays a good technique. He's strong. He's got good instincts in terms of playing blocks and recognizing interior schemes. Works hard. It's tough and durable. He's out there every day.
Other than his obvious physical skill, what are some of the things about Cameron Wake that's allowed him to have the level of production for so long over the course of his career?
Great motor and great technique. He's really a good technique rusher. Does a really good job of attacking the blockers, defeating the technique that they're using, whatever it is, soft set, quick set, hand punch. He's got good counters to all those, and he's got a really good motor. So athletic, hard to knock off his feet, cut blocks, things like that. He just steps right over them. But he's quick enough to turn the corner. He's got a good inside move, and he takes the deep set tackles and just powers them back and is disruptive that way. So he's very experienced and can adjust quickly to whatever, however the set or the play develops, with his rush.
How would you characterize your depth at tight end?
Same as it's been all year. No changes. I don't know what happened.
Can you count on Gronkowski every week, or is it a week-to-week thing?
I don't think there's anyone on the injury report last week.
Mentioning the Dolphins special teams with Coach Rizzi there, what does he do? Is it scheme? Is it?
They're good at everything. Yeah. Obviously they lost Grant, but Drake on kickoffs, and if he's Stills back there, obviously he's an explosive player on punts. They have a good rush scheme, punts and field goals. Even a lot of forces on their punt returns are tough with Perry, Bolden. They do a good job of covering. They could play good situational football. Much every week they do a good job.
Punt rush?
They rush a lot, probably more than any team in the league. Yeah, it's almost all rushes. It's not all rushes, but 70%, whatever it is, it's high.
Last couple weeks with McClellan and Humber sort of getting in there on that unit for you guys. How's that? Are you happy with the progress that you've made there? I guess.
We'll find out this week. Yeah, we'll get challenged this week. But both those guys have experience, and I think they've been okay. But this, be a different story this week. We're going up against a real good rush group. They're quick. They're powerful off the ball. They've had a lot of success. They blocked 3 or 4 punts this year. Might not show up in the stats because the ball crossed the line of scrimmage, but they hit them. So.
Bill, you talked about how much the Dolphins have changed since the last time you saw them. When you look at the Miami film from earlier in the year, how much do you balance trying to look at that game and look for tendencies versus trying to figure out what Miami did in that game and try to counteract, try to change things up from what they did last time?
Yeah, well, we'll see how much they do from that game. I think it'll be a different game. It certainly was when we played down there last year. They had a totally different game plan. So we'll see. Look, Adam does a really good job. He's an excellent game plan coach, as is their entire staff. So whatever we get. I think it'll be hard to sit here today and say this is what it's going to be because there's too many variables. I don't know what they're going to do.
Is there any way for you to simulate the humidity that they're going to feel down there when they get there?
Look, it is what it is out there. So whatever it is, it is.
You bring up your team's recent history in Miami involved players this week. That's something we talk about.
Well, definitely look at last year's game. I mean, that's, it's as close as we can get.
There's Robert Quinn, give them on the opposite side of Cam Wake.
Yeah, that guy, as good edge rush as anybody in the league. Those guys are very, very explosive. And they play hard. They both have great motors. Again, they can hit the edge. They can come inside. They're good on games. They can turn speed into power. So it's tough matchups. They're really good out there.
Well, on that same line of special teams, how good had Matt Hawk been for them, especially getting the ball, inside that 20-yard line?
Yeah, he's done a solid job for him. He's got a good leg. He hit some big balls. He hit some, he hit some plenty of good ones. Say consistency is could be improved, but I said about every kicker.
What's gone into the decision to keep Duke Dawson inactive after returning from IR?
We're trying to win games. Other than that, nothing.
How's he progressing in terms of learning the system?
He's doing well.
Deron, Stephon, Jason all seemed pretty tight after JC's performance on Sunday. How much of the veteran defensive backs just taking him under the wing?
A lot, yeah. They've done a really good job with him. A lot of communication with the corners and the safeties, depending on what the setup is, who's involved there. But it could be a combination of both or more corner, like when the corners are together, like on stacked receivers, things like that. Sometimes it's the safeties when we get bunch sets and so forth that handle the communication. But whoever it is, they've been, they know he doesn't have a lot of experience in our system, and they've done a great job of making sure that he understands what we're playing and not just take it for granted that even though we've been over it, and he does know and he should know it, still there's that reinforcement of the extra communication that this is what it is, and make sure that he understands it and he can play it. So he can certainly handle himself on his own, but those guys do a great job of just making sure, double checking that we have things right.
Is it significantly easier to integrate a more inexperienced player than you do a veteran group like that?
Well, yeah, sure, because those guys know what they're doing and they're confident. They're confident in the call. A big part of making the call is just the way you do it. If you do it with confidence and everybody knows that what you're saying is, they kind of feel like, that's right, and you're assertive about it, then you do it. If it's one of those kind of half-hearted, then is this the right call? Are we really doing this? This is, and then there's that hesitancy. And so, Devin, Pat, Ron, Jason has done a great job for us. John, those guys, they get it out. That nails it, and that's what it is, and we play it. And even if it's wrong, at least we're all wrong together, and we can usually work through that. The problem is when we're, half right, half wrong, and that's never good.
Has Jason's leadership skills been what you expected, considering?
Yeah, he's been great. Yeah, again, he missed the spring on the field. He was here for all the meetings and everything, but he wasn't on the field, and it was a process in training camp. Training camp's hard because we're not game planning. We're just out there, running our system, running plays, and our offense is running their plays, and the multiples become, exponential really. When you get into a game plan, comes down a little bit, and then there's some specific things that we're going to do this against that, and we're going to check this against something else. And he's very good at that, applying the game plan and applying the rules that we have. And when there's some gray area, he can be decisive and make a decision that this is what it's going to be. And again, as long as we're decisive and clear, even if it's not the perfect thing, if we're all doing the same thing, then we can be competitive.
You look back at the value of that trade for Jason and getting him at the salary he's at, and the value that you gave up.
He's been a great addition to the team. Yeah, no question. He's not a great addition to our team.
How is James Devlin evolved as not only a player but a leader, coming in as a practice squad guy years ago?
He's just earned everybody's respect by his daily performance. Nobody grinds it out harder than James does, whether it's offensively or in the kicking game. Preparation, training in the weight room. I mean, he's a hard-working kid that just grinds it out every day. Quiet, doesn't say much, but his actions are strong, and I think everybody appreciates and recognizes his commitment to the team and how much he puts into it, how tough and dependable he is. And he shows up every day and does it. I mean, you can count on it. You can set your watch on it. He'll be there. He'll work hard. He'll do everything you ask him to do. He'll be ready to go. I think without a doubt, everybody in the entire building feels that way because it happens every single day.
With that being said, is it nice to see when he has a game like he had that last time finding the end zone close, the first time in his career?
Yeah, sure. It's always good when we score, but however it happens, but he's very unselfish, and most of the time he's paving the way on that. But he made a couple big runs. Sometimes that last yard is a tough yard to get, especially against a defense like that. He got it. I got some good blocking, so that's good.
Last question. What have you seen from OB Alfonso?
Well, just a little bit more each week, and kicking game defensively. At this point in the season, it's not the easiest thing. We have a lot of packages in on defense and different groups, sometimes rules or calls within each group, and that can run together a little bit. Same thing in the kicking game. There are multiples that we've accumulated over the course of the year, and you come in the middle of the season and you're not really having the building blocks that you would have in the beginning of the season. You just kind of get a lot of information, but he's smart. He can sort it out, and it just needs more reps and more time on the field, more plays, more experience, but he's coming along. Okay, thank you.
We're on Lower Grass Field again, 12:30. Drive around, parking lot 6 as normal. Conference call at 2:35, in locker room 4.